So, I met this guy. He's pretty cool. He wants to celebrate in my victories and has an intuition that decides to expose me. By unpacking a box of emotions, he tells me this isn't a contest, that a bird does not fly to prove it's a bird, that a succulent does not bloom to prove it's alive, that a puzzle must be assembled to prove they're whole. I know I'm not. Grew up constantly distraught. I'm whole. I'm worthy enough to bloom for somebody. So my parents make me internalize my shame by planting a garden. Sow the seeds of doubt in soil fertilized by stories of immigration to the US. As if this isn't the life they chose. They water with lines of guilt so the rays that shine my insecurities germinate peonies of pretentious comments questioning this. Poem for the gay Filipino boy growing up in the Catholic Church. You are so precious. You are so loved. Yet, you will be told by a tall, bald white man in a sash that matches the halls say, be blessed by a community of heteronormative thoughts rooted in its constant need to control women. One night after 5 p.m. mass, me and a bunch of other impressionable teenagers walk into the gauntlet, which was a room filled with the thick ooze of teaching kids to be afraid of their bodies by telling them that sex is a sin. Condoms are a sin. Birth control is a sin. Being a virgin is in. How am I supposed to shake hands with a fate with whose homophobic spirits linger in the stained glass shining down fractured glares? As I kneel back down and I ask them to choose anybody but me. Holy Spirit, please end these thoughts of sleeping with other men. End these hunger pangs that crave touch and desire, for I no longer aspire to be begging for validation from above, because this is the poem for the boy who thought he was going to hell for thinking of other boys. This is the poem for the boy who thought his parents could never love him. This is to us brown boys who are done feeling the thorns of shame etch themselves into our bodies anymore. I grew up in the Catholic Church and I learned that sex is a sin, condoms are a sin, birth control is a sin. My body is in the hands of someone who I've never shaken hands with. He's exposing me, my oyster cage emotions only known of men with knives, ready to poke, prod, push open an oyster's mouth, only to carnage its pearl, leaving a space where vulnerability should be. That a box of emotions needs confetti and glitter to prove he's okay, but he's exposing me by telling me I don't have to prove anything. That I'm good enough. Just the way I am. He calls one night and says, why don't you express your emotions? Because I'm scared of messing this up. Not realizing he had unpacked this box for me to sit with. And what was left is a boy who rummages a box, who feels that empty space, who is trying his best to understand what this all means.